Welcome to Dharmic Evolution. Hey everybody, I'm your host, James Kevin O'Connor, singer-songwriter, audio-video artist, master storyteller, and international talent agent. Hey, I wanted to thank all you ladies and gents out there for signing up on the Dharmic Evolution Facebook community page. You know, I've been giving some shout-outs to you guys so you can post things about your brand, your career, and share it with not just all of our family of creators out there, but all of our worldwide audience who love to check in on the latest musical talent. So lots of you guys have been listening and taking advantage of this platform. And we want you to pull in some more fans just by posting what you're doing. Hey, we also just launched our first full-length Dharmic Evolution TV broadcast, and you can check it out over on the James O'Connor Agency YouTube channel. It's our very first video episode is up there, DE-136. It's Clara Lofaro from New York City. So Clara's just back from a Italy and Russian tour. She's back in New York City, so head over and check out that show. It's up on the YouTube channel right now. And one other thing I would ask you, if you dig in these shows, please leave a review in iTunes for all of us. It's really appreciated and lets people know that the show's being enjoyed. So today we head north to Edmonton, Canada, with a young lady who just released her second album and is off to Toronto for a radio tour to let the entire world know about all of her songs and what she's up to. She's also out there making a difference in people's lives, promoting mental health awareness, and helping youngsters with the tools and know-how to get help for their situations. So it's time to stack the cool with a new release of Sunday from Shay Esposito. You better strap up your seatbelts and let's go for a ride. There is a brand new musical act out on the airwaves called Mercy. It's spiritual. It's the truth unleashed, with scripture delivered by Chaplain Christine Mercy, along with drums, guitars, pianos, violins. Behold, it's the brand new album from Mercy, titled I Am Victorious. I'm going home, back to the throne, victorious, it's glorious. I've many rooms in my Father's house, for all of us, it's glorious. Learn to trust in His name. Just recorded in the Music City on the world-famous Music Row in Nashville, Tennessee. Download the album or pick up the actual CD copy of I Am Victorious right now on iTunes, Amazon, and CD Baby. And keep your eyes and ears open for the live performance tour of Mercy coming soon. This message is sponsored by the James O'Connor Agency. So welcome to the Dharmic Evolution. We got you on the second time. We got you on the flip side, girl. Glad you're here.
Okay, me too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, where do we start with you? I can't believe such a young lady, and you're doing all this wonderful work for others. Your humanitarian work and so forth. Can you tell us a little bit about that? How you got connected to the kind of work, and what exactly you're doing with mental health awareness for others around the world?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, long story short. I guess I go around to schools, school board conferences, that kind of thing, and I talk about my own experiences with with mental illness, and so I share my story and I try to help kids that way. And I kind of got into that a little bit by accident. I was invited to one conference, and then kind of from then on, it just spiraled.
So what inspired you to take this topic on? It's a very sensitive subject, and I really have to commend you for your bravery on that. Like, what inspired you to do this?
Well, I know as a teen, I always suffered with these kind of things, and I never really knew who I could turn to, who I could speak to. And I guess at that time, it wasn't talked about very much. So I definitely felt like I was the odd one out. I was the freak, and I wanted to make sure that kids now understand that they're not alone in this, and there's always someone they can talk to.
Right. That's awesome. Let's kick it off. What do you say with How Does It Feel? This is Shay Esposito.
I lost my way, dancing in flames. watch me burn, burn, burn. Out in the night, smoke rising higher and higher. Nothing can hold it down. Out in the night, when I'm on the outside, nothing can hold me down. How does it feel knowing the devil can't find me now? How does it feel? How does it feel? You never change, same bitter taste. Your snow on the mirror, your ice in my veins. Details will fade, I'll forget your face. Out in the night, smoke rises higher and higher. Nothing can hold it down. Out in the night, when I'm on the outside, nothing can hold me down. How does it feel knowing the devil can't find me now? How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel knowing the devil can't find me now? How does it feel? How does it feel? How does it feel knowing the devil can't find me now? How does it feel? How does it feel?
When did the moment happen for you that you said, wow, this is really intriguing. I am going to be a musician? Or were you just musical from the time you were a little girl? Or when did it start for you?
I was always involved in music. When I was 2 years old, I went to my mom and I told her I wanted to go where they teach you to sing. I wanted to be Michael Jackson, pretty
Really?
much.
No kidding.
I
At 2
loved
years
Michael Jackson.
old.
Yep.
Wow.
She put me in lessons when I was 3, and I was in lessons until I was 15, and I've been singing my whole life.
Right. And you put out an album at 16 years old, your first album, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Such an accomplishment. So when you were growing up and you were getting connected to all this music, how did you, did you have like friends who also played? Did you get in a band? Did you sing in choir? Like, how did you, get to start, developing your musical chops? Like, where did you go to kind of help yourself get to where you are now?
Right. Well, I was, like I said, it was in lessons. So then, like, I kind of started doing recitals and things like that. Probably around 8 is when I actually started performing, I think.
Right.
From then on, I was in the choir in high school, vocal jazz, small voc ensemble. I was actually in a progressive metal band for about a year when I was 15.
Really? Progressive metal?
Yeah, we
Wow.
were terrible. It wasn't good, but we had fun.
Well, that's the main thing. Everybody's terrible when they start out. I mean, that's how you get good. You don't even realize how bad you are sometimes until you look back and you go, wow, but at least you did it,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we had a
the
good
metal
time.
thing, how did the metal thing happen? Like, what were you, who were the people you were listening to? Like Scorpions or, what was your Doggin? What kind of songs were you listening to?
For that band, I guess it was a little more inspired by Periphery, like Dream Theater, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And that honestly kind of happened by accident. I was looking for someone to join a band with me to do my stuff, right?
Right.
And I ended up meeting this guy that was already in a band looking for a singer, and he's like, "Why don't you just come out?" And I was like, "All right, sure." And we became really great friends, and we worked together for a bit, but it didn't last too long.
Yeah. Did you get to perform at any gigs and things like parties or anything like that? Like, did you get to stretch out a little bit?
We did one show ever. It was at Avenue Theater back when that was still open.
Good. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. So you got some memories too. So
Absolutely.
so when you were doing the metal thing, but then your career started to develop into what it is now, like tell me about some of the influences you had, besides the metal, like when you were growing up that kind of helped you like formulate who you are as a singer and a songwriter now. Like who were you listening to? You mentioned Michael Jackson, of course, so that's the top of the heap. But who else were you listening to?
Well, I think the biggest, I guess, inspiration for me vocally would be Hayley Williams from Paramore.
Okay.
I always loved her. I always wanted to sound just like her. So I did a lot of Paramore covers and that kind of stuff. She was a huge one for me. But other than that, I mean, like for the music I listened to, like I was a big fan of like the Beatles and Johnny Cash and like that kind of stuff. A lot of the stuff like my dad listened to,
Right.
But I guess musically, so lyrically, my biggest inspiration is this band called La Dispute, and it's
La
basically,
Dispute.
yeah,
Okay.
it's basically just poetry read over music, and it's beautiful. So for me, that really, I guess, inspired me to write my music in a more poetic way,
Right.
less in like a typical song
Yeah.
structure. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Where are they from? La Dispute. Are they from Canada? They sound like they're from Mexico. La Dispute.
They're from the States.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check them out. I hadn't heard of them. And it's the spoken word over music.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
what
cool.
most of it is.
Yeah. Hey, I think it's time for us to check out another one. How about we play Sunday? Here we go.
I didn't understand fear until I fell in love. I didn't understand warmth until you wrapped me up. And I never understood how you can give all of who you are to someone else. I didn't understand sight until I saw your face. I didn't understand fate. Now somehow you made a home under my skin, made it safe to hold my heart again. And Sunday mornings never felt so beautiful. Sunday mornings never felt so beautiful. I didn't recognize truth before you came my way. A million heartbreaks taught me to appreciate everything you are. I wouldn't change a thing that led me straight into your arms. I didn't understand right from wrong in love and war. I never felt it before. Now somehow you made a home under my skin, made it safe to hold my heart again. Sunday mornings never felt so beautiful. Sunday mornings never felt so beautiful.
Sunday. What a great song. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the upper range you do there. And tell us about this song. This is a really, really good song.
Sure, yeah.
Why did you write this and what is it all about, Sunday?
Well, it's actually so I was in this relationship, and this guy wanted me to write him a love song. He's always asking me to write him a song, and I just for some reason I couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't put it into words. So I actually wrote this song the day we broke up, as kind of a backwards kind of screwing you. Yeah.
That's funny. The day you wrote the song was the day you broke up. That's a first. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he had a sense of humor about it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Has he heard it? Do you know? He
I
must
have no idea.
He must have heard it. He must be following the trail around. What's Shay up to these days? So tell us about the sentiment behind it. So, because we were talking about it, so I didn't hear all the lyrics, but what I heard was really great.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was a mix of still like, I love you and I care about you, but I know that you're not right for me, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. That always makes sense.
Yeah.
We all go through those, right? Everybody's been through a few of those. So, yeah. So tell us a little bit about your production and how you put your music together. Like what's your go-to philosophy or your regimen, if you will. Like when you got a song and you say, I like this is where this is going to go. How do you craft your music? Do you sit at a piano or guitar? Or what do you do to get the basic formation together of the song?
Right. So the way I write is most of my lyrics come from poems first. And then I kind of like put these melodies to them and these rhythms and everything like that. And then I actually just take that, just lyrics and melody, right to my producer. And then we kind of work out the rest together, like bounce ideas off each other. I guess the instrumental side of things is not as much my forte. So he helps me out a lot with that. Yeah.
Great. That's what you need, And who's your producer?
His name is Trey Mills. His company is called Unbound by Sound. He's based in Calgary.
Unbound by Sound. That's a cool name. Unbound by Sound. I got to write that one down. You better talk to him about writing a song called that. Unbound by Sound. I love that.
Good one, yeah.
Yeah. So when you guys get together and you've got your ideas, like what do you guys do? Does he sit at a piano and you with a guitar? You sit with a legal pad, or like how would a typical writing session for you to convey your ideas to him go? Or I guess that would be pre-production meeting. Like how would that go?
So I guess we kind of we sit down together. He's at a piano. And I kind of sing him what I have, the melody I have, and he kind of goes along with me and works out, the key and what the melody is on the piano and stuff like that. And then we start building behind it from there. So I actually don't play an instrument very well.
Right.
I don't play any very well.
Right.
So that's all him. But yeah, we just kind of mess around together until we find something that sounds nice, and then we just kind of run with that.
She went to Mom at 2 and said, I want to sing. Then a progressive metal band? What a way to start. And Hayley Williams from Paramore. And La Dispute. Right back to the interview with Shay after these words. Are you a singer-songwriter, artist, or author? Are you in need of a platform for your career? Well, the James O'Connor Agency is in the business of helping you broadcast your global career. If you are needing to expand your presence in a big way, such as having your music and your voice heard around the world, well, look no further. We have the platforms here to help you catapult your career like no one else can. Your artistry can be featured around the world on the James O'Connor Agency YouTube channel. Here at the James O'Connor Agency, we can expand your global career by being a featured guest on Dharmic Evolution for singer-songwriters and everyone in the entertainment industry. Or The James O'Connor Show, designed for authors, speakers, and thought leaders. Both shows are international radio, TV shows, and podcasts. Go to thejamesO'ConnorAgency.com and find out what we can do for your global career right now. Awesome. I want to talk a little bit about, just tell people what you've done here in your very short but very productive career so far. So, while you're working on your craft, your songwriting has already received international recognition, appearing as a finalist in the UK songwriting competition several times. You were also named top 5 in the Slate's Music It's Your Shot for Canadian Talent, and you've received several nominations for the Edmonton Music Awards. So you're a busy girl. You got a lot of things going on here. What is your upcoming goal for like the rest of this year? Do you have plans like to try to push this out and do some kind of tour or anything with your music, or what is the ultimate goal for you?
Well, right now we have, first things first, we kind of have a CD release concert planned out. So we're going to, be doing that and stuff like that. But
great. Where's that going to happen?
That's happening at the Needle Vinyl Tavern, probably in Edmonton. It's not it's not a set date yet, but that's kind of tentative.
So that's the formal record release that you're planning.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great. Okay.
So other than that, we're actually we're working with a radio tracker right now. So I'm doing a radio tour. At the end of May, I'm going down to Toronto for a 3-day little radio tour there.
Right.
After that, we'll be hitting other provinces, trying to push it really hard. So we're really trying to pitch this to radio.
Great. Do you have people helping you, Shay, or are you doing most of this on your own? Do you have anybody like as far as managerial or publicist or anything like that?
Well, I do have a lot of help, even from Trey, my producer. He helps me out a lot, gives me a lot of advice. He's really got my back. And then, like I said, we're working with a radio tracker. His name's Oscar. And then my mom actually helps me out a lot too. I know maybe it sounds, the momager thing kind of sounds cheesy, but it's so true. She does so much for me.
She's awesome. We talked a couple weeks ago. Yeah, your mom's great.
She helps me out a lot. She's making phone calls for me, managing like all my expenses, my budget, everything like that all the time.
Awesome. Yeah. It's time. I think we're going to play your video now. What do you say? Let Me Down. great video. I love the synth in there. So tell us, what was the story behind that one, Shay?
To be honest, this one was also kind of a little bit of a classic breakup song. I wrote most of this album right after that breakup.
I had a feeling because I kept saying, starting to forget. I said, this sounds very, very familiar. There's something going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did it help? Did it help writing that?
It did. It really did. This one, I guess, was a little bit more about kind of how I let things like personally affect, the person that I was.
Right.
So it was definitely a little bit of a therapy album.
Yeah, it seems like that cathartic exercise always helps everybody, like when you write it, you vent out a lot of things and you just feel better about it. You just deal with maybe the pain of it or whatever. Just the song seems to help, do that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, tell me about, let's talk a little bit more about the gigging situation. You mentioned Edmonton starting to come up as more of a place that's hot for gigging, a lot of, places to play. Like what would be like the typical experience? Is it coffee houses? Is it theaters? Like what kind of places are like available up there to do gigs? Like open mics, like a little bit of everything? What's the story there?
There's a ton of open mics, cafes and pubs and stuff like that are starting to pop up.
Right.
A lot of places are actually bringing that in. It was a little bit harder to find, in the past couple of years, but it's picking up a lot. We've also got a couple really great, like smaller venues, like Mercury Room, for example. Even the Needle, like they're great venues that do have, some bigger bands playing, but they're also really good for the more local stuff. So we've just got we've got so many options opening up that we haven't had before. So it's really great to see like the music scene growing so much in Edmonton. Yeah,
for sure. And like I said to you earlier, having the Canadians on this show, I love having the Canadians, and you guys are starting to stack the cool more and more, man. It's like I'm getting more Canadians than ever before. Hey,
we're catching up.
I know it is. It's great. I love having people from other countries. I mean, we have a lot of people from London on this show, and even in South Africa, and we just had our first Norway guests on Oslo, Norway, a couple weeks ago. So it's really cool that we're getting around the world and hearing everybody's stories. I wanted to ask you a little bit about your first album, Annie. When you released this, this was your first album that you released. What was it like knowing that you were going to put out an album and being such a young lady? Was it really, really exciting for you? Like, were you really pumped up for this milestone in your life?
Yeah, I was so excited. Honestly, it didn't feel real at the time. Like, as I'm going through it, I'm like, this isn't a professional album. I'm nobody. It's just me, whatever. Right.
Right.
And then I put it out and suddenly like all my friends are listening to it. And like all of my friends have my CD and they keep it in their car, and they actually listen to it regularly. And it just it blew my mind. It was like the most exciting thing that I've gone through so far in my life. It was really amazing.
Yeah. When did you get the idea that, hey, I'm gonna make a CD. I'm gonna make an album. Like, did it just pop into your head one day, or like, you just had an epiphany? Like all of a sudden, I'm supposed to do this. How did that occur for you?
Honestly, I didn't even really believe that I would get to. I'd written a couple songs that I was really excited about. And then my producer and my mom, when, all these people are like, apply for grants, get some funding. And I'm like, okay, well, why not? But I definitely didn't expect to win. So when I did win, it was like a shock. I was like, oh, I'm actually going to do this. Like, this is nuts.
Oh, so I missed that part. So you actually won like an award or something to fund your album? Is that how that worked?
Yeah, I won the Ralco Radio grant it was $10,000 for my first album.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Yeah. So you just submitted your songs and they said, okay, we know this girl's means business. We want to get together with her and award her this. So that's how that all came together.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
It's a lengthy grant application process, but
right.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and then how did you get hooked up with, like, who produced it? Did they help you select a producer, or like how did that all work?
Trey actually produced that one as well.
Oh, he did?
I've
Oh,
been
great.
working with him for everything, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, that's good. It's like family, you know?
Exactly, we're growing together.
Yeah. Tell me, what do you like to do up in Edmonton when you're not writing songs? And like, what's a fun thing for you to do when you're chilling, you're not doing music, you just want to do something for yourself?
Mhm. Um, Actually, I write a lot. I don't know, that doesn't really have anything to do with Edmonton, but
Right.
I do write a lot of poetry. I'm working on a novel. So honestly, any spare time that I have, that's just me. I'm still writing.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, like I go to a lot of local shows. I just really like to be actually a part of the music community. You know, like I'm not just a singer. I want to be more involved in that. So
Be
that's
deep into it. Yeah.
yeah.
Tell us
That's my
about your
weekends.
tell us about your novel. Like, what's the story on that? What are you writing about? What's the novel going to be about?
Well, very long story short, I'm writing kind of in a medieval but female supremacist society. Um, it's a revolution kind of story, revolutionary. Like, yeah. Honestly, I don't talk about it too often. It's a little weird to get into, but
No, it sounds fascinating. So you probably would have loved to live in like the what, 7th century, 8th century?
100%.
I just got that feeling. Yeah.
I really love fantasy novels, that kind of stuff. Like that's what I've always connected to. So
Right. So
mhm.
so what do you read? Like, who do you read that not that I know, a whole lot about that subject, but like favorite author in that genre?
My favorite author is Mark Lawrence.
Uh,
He wrote a trilogy called The Broken Empire, and it is
okay.
honestly it's the best book I've ever read in my life. It's by
Really?
far my favorite.
So this has to have some influence on your songwriting.
Absolutely.
Like,
There's actually my one of my songs called "Should Have" on my album Sunday was completely inspired by his first novel. I actually just kind of there was one line, and the line was, "I'm not given to should haves." I took that right out of the book, and I wrote this song about it. You know, like
right.
yeah.
Awesome. It's amazing when you get your teeth into something that really resonates with you. It always bleeds into your songwriting, which I think is such a good thing. It's just
Mhm.
really, it makes your songwriting even deeper. And you also had, I want to just mention here that you were a finalist in the UK songwriting competition, an international songwriting comp. And I think that's from the Sunday album, right? Um, and then you have radio play in Russia. How did you do that? That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a weird one. Honestly, that was a little by chance, I guess. But we did a remix competition for the song "How Does It Feel,"
Right.
and one of the winners, he goes by Can Coyotes, I believe is his just Coyotes. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Coyotes.
Coyotes. Yeah.
He did one of his sorry, the remix he did was one of the winners. It was an incredible remix, and he's from Russia, so I guess just from that, like it just kind of started building up steam like that. It was honestly, I couldn't even tell you, it just like snowballed. It was really
Right.
cool.
Yeah. That's amazing to be, to get airplay over there. I mean, I always, I've talked about this on this show before, how other countries, love American music and vice versa. I mean, we seem to appreciate things that come from Europe just as well, and that's been going on for decades, as far back as, the Beatles listening to all the 50s, like McCartney was listening to Little Richard and people like that, and then it gets resynthesized and then shipped back over here, and then we have a
Yeah.
whole new appreciation for it, and it still goes on, which is great. Why music is so universal, and I think it's time to play another one. What do you say, Shay? Too young?
Sounds good to me.
Here we go.
I'll keep you alive in letters that I write, and I'll find you back home every morning light, because we die and we are born anew. And I see you ignite colors in the sky, and I feel you with me every passing night. because we die and we are born as something new. You're too young to understand. You're too young to understand all that you are, all that you are to us. And the dark times will come, but you will be my guide. Even when we lose touch, you'll be by my side. I vow I won't be yours. In joy and in sorrow, I won't be yours. As long as I'm alive, I vow I won't be yours. In joy and in sorrow, I won't be yours. As long as I'm alive. You're too young to understand. You're too young to understand. But you're too young, you're too young, you're too young to understand all that you are, all that you are to us.
What a touching song. Would you share with us what that is? Really beautiful, beautiful song, Shay.
Thank you. Absolutely. So I wrote that song about three young boys in my life that were really close to my family that passed away over 2016. So I guess real quick, the first one was one of my sister's closest friends. He babysat me when we were kids. He was really, really close to the family. He died very suddenly. The second one was one of my closest friends, her brother. I passed away from suicide. So I started writing this song kind of along that span with the two of them.
Right.
But I couldn't seem to finish it. I couldn't seem to do it justice. I was having a hard time, but I knew I wanted to write something.
Right.
And then January of last year, a really good friend of mine from high school passed away in a car accident. And honestly, it was like he finished the song for me. Like that was all,
Wow. That's a lot of tragedy to absorb all in one short year. That's really, really horrible. But it's so good that you wrote the song. Beautiful, beautiful song. And did this also trigger your efforts to go around and do your special work, your humanitarian work, as far as helping people out of situations where they're stuck?
Yeah, honestly, it's made a really big impact on a lot of that stuff, even just like, my everyday personal life, because it really makes you realize, that like life is short. Like you never really know, so you have to make every day count. You can't let these little things, take up so much of your time when you never really know how much you have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, and also with you getting out there and speaking, as, somebody in these schools and, you're a peer of them, and it's really got to be so valuable for somebody to step up and have these, what would normally be a very unpleasant conversation, but to say, listen, it's okay to start talking about these things, because how else are you going to have a litmus for how do we get past it, or how do we make ourselves healthier,
Exactly. And I'm in a really good, I guess, spot right now because I am only a couple years older than those high school kids, so we connect a lot easier because I can go to them and say, hey, it gets better. And I'm only 19, so they believe that it's going to get better soon,
Right.
As opposed to somebody that's a little older telling them, hey, it gets better, but you have to wait this long.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you give them a lot of hope by doing that, for sure. Hey, let me ask you about social media. What are your favorite jams? Like, what do you do on social media? Where do you spend most of your time? if at all? And what platforms do you like? I mean, there's no getting around it anymore, right? So which ones do you like and find yourself on?
I am all over Instagram and Snapchat.
Okay.
Those ones are the easiest for me. I don't know why. Those ones come naturally. I'm okay. Like I'm on Facebook a lot too, but not as much. Right. And then Twitter, for example, I just like can't wrap my head around Twitter. Like I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm never on Twitter. Like I just don't understand the whole premise.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I have people helping me with that, but I don't ever seem to go on there, But I do like Instagram simply because I can connect with people like you, like-minded people, like people who are actual creators, singers, songwriters, musicians. Instagram seems to be like the place for that, more so exactly. I think than any other platforms and Facebook, of course, too. But Instagram seems to have the lion's share of musical people on it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So as we're starting to wind down, what are you looking out and seeing on the horizon for the rest of this year? You got this brand new album out. You got your freshman album out. So now you've got 2 albums out, and what do you see going on for the rest of the year? You're doing this radio tour. What are you most excited about looking out towards the end of this year?
Honestly, I'm very, very excited for this radio tour. That is goal number 1. We're pushing this so hard to radio. And that's I think going to be the biggest part of the rest of my year. It's just like pushing this song so hard.
Right. Excellent. And I really love your music, and I think you're onto something really, really great, Shay. Why don't you give us your best place for people to find you, all of our audience, for them to find all about Shay Esposito and where we can go? Can we go to your website?
Yeah, absolutely. My website is shayesposito.com. Everything's on there, all my social media, everything like that.
That's so easy. And we'll pick up all your show notes and put them in there for all the links for people to connect to you on all the socials as well. And Shay, thank you so much for being a part of the Dharmic Evolution. It was great to finally hook up with you, meet you, share your stories with us and your music. And just want to say all the best wishes and congratulations on your career.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Do you ever wonder why you were created and what you're here to do? Then the geography of the soul will help you to find your true place in this world. The music is so inspirational, including tracks such as I Want to Be Loved, State of Grace, and Ride On. James Kevin O'Connor is an internationally acclaimed singer, songwriter, music producer, entertainment agent, TV star, and a loving father who leads you to find your true place and calms your mind and soul in breathtaking ways. Buy Geography of the Soul today by James Kevin O'Connor at iTunes, CD Baby, Amazon, jameskevino'connor.com. Geography of the Soul, a beautiful CD that you need to own today, by James Kevin O'Connor.
Sponsored by the James O'Connor Agency. How does it feel? Sunday, let me down, and too young. Shay is off to a fabulous start with her career, and her interview is up on the Dharmic Evolution website and is now being downloaded and listened to in countries all around the world. And we're just getting things cranked up because we're now being downloaded in Nigeria, of all places. Every week it's a new surprise. Hey, you should head over to our new website, the James O'Connor Agency. If you have not visited this site yet, you got to check it out. Lots of artists around the world are starting to check in and take advantage of all the things this agency is offering them. An international talent agency designed to broadcast your global career. Hey, no matter where you are in your career, we have got your back. Stop by and visit the site, find out about all of the awesome packages we have designed and developed for you. Hey, do you need funding for your next album project? Well, go to the JamesO'ConnorAgency.com. Find out what we do for singer-songwriters, musical artists, as well as authors, speakers, and thought leaders. We also want to encourage you to visit dharmicevolution.com. Check out your show and blog profile right now. If you've been on this show, you are now on the site. Shay is now on the site, and people from around the world are logging in to see and hear all about Shay Esposito, her artistry, and her music. That's it for me today. I'm your host for the Dharmic Evolution, James Kevin O'Connor, singer-songwriter, audio-video artist, master storyteller, and international talent agent. So until the next time when we meet again, I'll either see you on the socials or I'll see you on TV.
Just settle for the map. When you're welcome to the territory, I just discovered where it's at. Now I need to study the geography of my soul. You said you're on the same path. You're hoping that you'll make a new discovery. And now you know there's no turning back. It was there in the geography of your soul. Of your soul. I've been wandering around for years and years, trying to break free from the pain. Maybe all I ever really needed was to recognize and claim my own inner flame. For the map, when we can celebrate the territory. Don't even consider turning back. Now that we found the geography of our soul.